Hey everybody, it's Josh Runquist here for Heavy Debriefings, and it's time for another edition of Out Today and What I Missed. This week, we're going to 11.
These go to 11.
7 brand new albums that come out today, and 4 I missed along the way. Let's get right into it.
Get on with it!
First up, we have the brand new album from Bokassa, known as All Out of Dreams.
Dying tonight. I guess I'm dying tonight.
This album took me by complete surprise. This is the first time I'm really familiar with the band, and I'm really enjoying what I'm hearing. It's fun, it's catchy, it can be fast as pop punk, it can be as slow as sludgy, stoner rock. It's got so many layers to it, and quite tongue-in-cheek when you think about it as well. It's the kind of album where they're not afraid to play what they want to play, write what they want to write, and it all comes off sounding fantastic. If you want something a little more lighthearted, but doesn't skimp on the musicianship, this is an album for you.
What lifelong dream?
Next up, we have the debut album from the Italian power metal band, Elettra Storm, with Powerlords.
Higher than the stars, we'll fly on our journey.
And this album is a perfect display of what I love about power metal. Symphonic in the right moments, power metal of course, gorgeous vocals, the choruses, everything going on. This is why I enjoy power metal so much. From David of Sin Heresy, it's great to see him tackling a different side of his power metal and symphonic styles, really gauging into the power metal side. And I truly enjoy it. This is the kind of stuff where if you find power metal kind of lacking for different reasons, this is one that shows you that power metal will never truly die.
This is when heroes are made!
Next up, we have the third album from this German Melodeath band known as Far Beyond with The End of My Road. And yeah, if you haven't figured it out by the title alone, this is a very dark album. Perfectly matches that Melodeath sound, a little bit of a raw production, but it does sound clear and pristine at the same time. The songwriting is excellent on this album. It's not a cheery album by any means, but if you love the sad Melodeath stuff, this is going to be right up your alley. I've just discovered this band and I can't wait to go back and check out the previous releases. If they're anywhere near as good as this album, I know I'm sold on checking out some brand new Melodeath. But until then, check this album out as it just came out today. It's some really good stuff.
Well, that's the end of me.
Next up, we're sticking with Germany with the band Farsot and their brand new album, Life Promised Death. This black metal band has been around for a bit of time, and they just continuously improve with every single album. And I really feel that way about this one, as I do feel it is their best work to date. The production has that raw but perfect black metal sound behind it. The songwriting just works so perfectly. It has that great mix of old school black metal, a little bit of second wave black metal in there, and a couple other influences that you might hear as you check it out. There's a lot to really appreciate about an album like this, and being a longtime Farsot fan, it's great to see the band continuing on here in 2024. And if you're not familiar, you need to check this thing out immediately.
That wasn't part of our deal, Blackheart! That wasn't part!
Up next, we have the self-titled album from Ihsahn. And this is arguably my favorite album of 2024 so far, although there's a lot of contenders already in January and February. But with all that said, this has those classic, progressive, experimental moments that I love so much from Ihsahn. But on top of all of that is this symphonic black metal element that won't go away, nor should it. It is just another side of Ihsahn being able to incorporate more of what he helped create with symphonic black metal, but of course being his abstract self. I couldn't ask for anything more, but he gave us more, as there's 2 discs to this album. One that does have the symphonic black metal sound, and one that is a symphonic album. Both are absolutely incredible and well worth your time if you check them out. Is this the best Ihsahn album? I think there's the potential that it is, but you'll have to give it a shot for yourself to see if it's for you.
Come on, people, somebody order the London Symphony Orchestra! Possibly while high!
Up next is the sophomore album from Illumishade, with Another Side of You.
Feed my eyes so that I remember we just wander the sun.
And I really feel they live up to the album title this time around. As you may or may not know, this features present members of Helveti, and I really enjoy Helveti, but it's also great to see them being able to expand into other sounds as well instead of just folk metal. This album is full of like 80s AOR, it's filled with prog metal elements, it's filled with pop moments and very beautiful piano driven moments as well. It's kind of like when you combine 80s AOR, Haken, and Vanessa Carlton into one album. It's an odd mix on paper, but it's perfect in execution. Seriously, this might be an underground album for a lot of people, but you should definitely give this one a shot, as it just might be one of the best prog albums of 2023. Just give it some time.
They're my lucky shades. I stole them off some lucky guy while his lucky seeing eye dog was taking a whiz.
And finally, for the albums out today, this week, is the French band Sujin with Save Our Souls. This album is very intriguing to me, as it combines melodic death metal, Japanese influence, and metalcore all combined. It's like you take the best elements of Melodeath and metalcore, and you have this great Japanese influence on top of all of it that really gives it a unique twist that you don't see in a lot of other bands. The songs are so catchy, the riffs are insane. This is the kind of band that I can just see flourishing in years to come. But right here, with this debut album, it is some fantastic work. I can understand why it wouldn't be for everybody, but if you are a bit more open-minded than the rest, you should give this one a shot, and you might find a new favorite band.
Lord have mercy on my soul, and Mom's soul, and Dad's soul, and Maggie's soul, and let every soul in Christendom.
And now it's time to see 4 albums that I missed along the way.
Get over there!
Up first is the debut album from this Mexican band known as Bry.ght with Blight. This album is a deranged combination. It is post-black, but it is also the epitome of shoegaze at the same time. Now, a lot of people would think it's blackgaze, and you are probably right, but I hear so much shoegaze over top of the black metal, and I hear black metal moments over the shoegaze at the same time. It feels like such a contrast compared to a lot of atmospheric black metal, post-black, and shoegaze-inspired black metal bands. This band does it right where it almost has that great alternative tinge to black metal. Now, that could throw some people off, but for those that might have some interest in this, I really think you should give this album a shot. It won't be for everyone, but if you want one of the most relaxing black metal albums of 2024, here you go.
Good night, guys.
Up next is the sophomore album from Deathless with The Clairvoyant. Now, this is pure American Melodeath, and I mean that in the best way possible, but you also gotta understand, like, there is pure Black Dahlia worship on this album, there's pure Revocation worship on this album, but the band also expands their sound on this album compared to their debut. You hear more elements of what the band is trying to go for, more of the styles that really change the tempo up and the style and everything that's going on, but of course, that American Melodeath sound is here in strides. All of that said, I love American Melodeath. I love what they're doing here. Thrashy enough, death metal enough, progressive and technical enough, and super melodic in the right moments. What else could you possibly ask for in a genre like this? Seriously, check this album out.
A happy squirrel.
That's bad?
Possibly. The cards are vague and mysterious.
Up next is some brand new epic doom from the debut album from Distorted Reflection with Doom Rules Eternally. And yes, it does. This is an awesome combination of epic doom metal, as there's a lot of bands that do epic doom metal that really draw inspiration from Candlemass, and I'm all here for it as they are the masters of epic doom metal. But they do something with a little bit of a twist. There's more variation in the sound, there's more variation in the tempo, and the vocals remind me so much of Hansi from Blind Guardian. It's a really odd mix to think of Candlemass and Blind Guardian together, but when you hear it, it works so perfectly well. Even those who don't like Doom can find something to appreciate about this album. Seriously, this one's flying under the radar, but I'm here to try to give a little more inspiration for you to check it out. Seriously, this is fantastic stuff.
Doomed!
And finally, we have some more black metal for you with the band The Infernal Sea with Hellfenlic. I actually did an interview for this album, which you can check out on this very channel, and I hope you do, as it is a very cool interview to be able to learn so much more about the horrors of the past, something we should be learning about now. And once you know it, that is the concept of this album as well, focusing around the madman known as Witchfinder General, and all of the murders in his name and in the name of God. Match that up with some of the most dark, evil black metal you can imagine, sorrowful emotions, and lyrics that are just so vivid they play in your head as you hear the songs. This is not an album for the faint of heart, but if you are a black metal fan who loves great production, learning about the past, or even if you just have a fancy for religious murder, this might be an album for you.
Spread the word! Peace and chicken.
And there you go, folks, 11 brand new albums, either out today or have come out recently for Out Today and What I Missed. So what do you think? Was there some good albums? Was there some bad albums? Anything that you're going to check out? Anything that I left out? Or am I just terrible for my own personal opinion? Let me know all of that down below. And of course, like, comment, share, subscribe, all of that stuff. I appreciate all the views and subscribers and comments and everything that's been going along lately. It seems like I'm doing the right thing here by doing this weekly, as it's bringing in a lot of people and it's bringing me so much joy to be able to keep doing this every single week. And until next Friday, for the next edition of Out Today and What I Missed, this is Josh Runquist for Heavy Debriefings saying, embrace the skullet.